Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks, Futures, and Forex Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday, the 19th of December, 2021, ending Friday the 24th. Well, not really. Friday the 24th is Christmas Eve, and the market will be closed that day. Usually how this works is if Christmas is in the middle of the week, Christmas Eve would be a half day, and Christmas Day would be a day off. This is kind of the weird schedule where, because it's on a Saturday, you just get Friday off. You don't get a half day, so we have extra open market hours, even though I promise you they're probably going to be semi-worthless. I do want to point out also, I'm trying to wrap this up for the last 2 weeks of the year, that next week, the week after, because New Year's Day is on a Saturday as well, New Year's Eve is on the Friday, and New Year's Eve by requirement has to be the last full possible weekday trading day of the year has to be a full trading day. That is the rule by New York Stock Exchange rules. So instead of giving us Monday the 3rd of January off, there is no day off for New Year's. So you got a full week when nobody will be trading. It is the lightest volume week of the year between Christmas and New Year's typically. Obviously, unless there's news out there. But I mean, if you look at the last 20 years, it's the lightest volume week of the year. Could this be the exception? Yeah, maybe. But that's just the reality. So most people stop trading probably around Wednesday this week. You'll start to see the end, and then people start to head out for the long Christmas weekend. You know, Thursday's the day before the holiday. Friday we're closed. And then do they come back next week? Typically not, but it is a full 5-day trading week, which is just really weird. All right, here's the dollar index daily chart. As you can see, we've been stuck in a range now for a month, not going anywhere. Let's go through the major pairs on the daily charts. So the euro dollar, the inverse of the dollar index, also very flat. The pound dollar, a little bit of a pop late in the week and then came back down. Aussie dollar rose a bit this week. Euro, yen. Again, most of the stuff, the Forex stuff has been very dead, to be honest. Pound, yen, like there's a spike and then come right back. I mean, it's just so quick, you can't really, I mean, if you're day trading, that's fine, but if you're doing anything else, there's just not much there. The pound, Swiss, it is what it is. Now, if we look at the intra-week action, 30-minute candles, here's the euro dollar. High to low for the week is only about 100. I mean, if you take out one little piece of it, it's only about 100 pips, right? 100 and maybe 20. Which is horrible for the euro dollar, so we won't even get involved. Pound dollar high to low for the week, basically we'll call it 200 pips, and that's with two spikes. If you look at the bulk of the week, you're talking about 120 pips. That's really bad. That's usually average daily range, not average weekly range on the pound dollar. Here's the Aussie dollar. Not much else there. So I don't want to get too wrapped up in Forex. It's been kind of dead, and it is what it is. Let's move on to the stock stuff. So here's the ES front month futures contract. Daily chart, the broad market and futures form, and after looking like we were selling off 2 weeks ago, we came back up, got near the highs, swept the actual highs on Thursday, came back down a little bit on Friday. Crude oil down $2.09, so obviously mid-range for the last year, and probably that's going to be about where we close. Gold up 0.4 cents, or $0.4, sorry, on the Friday, and not much there. Let's look at the S&P cash, which lost 48.03, closed on the mid, gap down on Friday and closed at the midpoint VWAP area. There was always two options there. One was to close even, one was to close near that midpoint VWAP. We ended up with the midpoint VWAP, which is interesting. A little more negative than you would have thought for options expiration, but still is what it is. Remember, we gapped down almost this much and came back. So here's the Nasdaq, which gapped down over 100 points, but closed down just 62. And it's off the highs. The SOX loses 5.28. Biotech gains 122.55. Russell 2000 gains 21.47. And that's really off the lows of the year. And again, we were in that narrow range, so we came near sweeping the lows. Dow down 532. We don't really care about the Dow, but there it is. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up $1.69, so bonds higher, rates lower. That's what we're looking at there. Advanced decline ratio of the Nasdaq was positive, plus 454 on the New York, negative minus 523. So a little mix there. Net for the week is net for Friday. I mean, almost exactly zero in terms of the advanced decline ratio if you add the New York and the Nasdaq together. 0.92 on the trend. I'm sorry, 1.2 on the trend puts the 10-day at 0.92. Like I said, we got that 10-day moving average down there pretty quickly, but then we had some low numbers dropping off the moving average, which almost guaranteed that we were going to end up moving that moving average back up. So it never got under 0.85, which is a sell signal on the broad market. Look, triple expiration. It didn't look strong early, but it is here late in the day. They closed out the positions. You can see those big triple expiration days. If you look at the 3 top volume days of the year, right, go all the way to the left of this chart. One at the end of March, that's triple expiration. One in June, that's triple expiration. And the one now, the one in September actually was just, that's the one down under 6.8. And the funny thing is there was a bigger volume day in October. Right, but 4 of your 5 biggest trading days of the year were triple expiration. Again, that's just the options floor closing out trades to wrap up what they've got going on for the week or for the month, or the quarter even. So, not much there. By the way, I also want to talk, let's do this real quick while we're here. Volume, Nasdaq volume. We've talked about this in the past. So let's go back to like 2019, where you can look at that last month of the year. You see it kind of like in the 3/4 of the way across. Volume just dips. Usually Christmas Eve is a half day. That's the one day that's really bad. We don't have that this year. We're going to have the market close next Friday. But you can see how much volume tends to drop off in that last week of the year. If you go back to 2018, I'll push it all the way over to the right side of the chart. But you can see volume drops off versus where it was. That's the common theme almost every year. 2020 last year, here's the end of year dip. And again, it doesn't look like a dip because it wasn't compared to, you can see that low 3.2 billion. That's the half day for Christmas Eve. But the other days were a little lower than we've been seeing around that time. That was kind of a weird year because COVID and volume was super heavy, but it has definitely settled back a bit currently. All right, the VIX closes at 21.57, up $1. Okay, fine. Apple down $1.12. Amazon up 22.93. Facebook down $1.11. Not much there. Google loses 54.4. Goldman Sachs down 15.57. Big down day for Goldman Sachs and Google, really. Netflix down $4.33. Tesla gains $5.65. You got Zoom up 17.34. So remember, this was a COVID stock. This is its biggest day in a long time to the upside. Does that mean that Omicron's really going to be an issue here? We'll see. Peloton back up $2.64. This was also a COVID stock, but now it's down from 170 to it got into the, well, let's just call it 40 and call it a day, right? Bitcoin sitting at 46,935, well off the highs of the year. If you go to 10-minute candles on the week, here's what you get. So Monday kind of flat. We went down after that and closed a little bit lower. Tuesday gap down, couldn't fill the gap. Closed about where we opened. A little lower maybe, about where we opened actually, right on it. Wednesday kind of a flat opening, but then rallied very late in the day after the Fed announcement. Filled all gaps, came back up for the week. Thursday a small gap up, that sold off, filled the gap. And by the way, at the moment that filled the gap, which is about an hour in on, or not even that, on Thursday, we were dead even for the week, basically, right? Then we kind of sold off a little bit, and then Friday, a gap down, tried to fill the gap, came very close. We did fill it on the Nasdaq, and we closed near the lows of the week, but having said that, it wasn't a significant drop versus anything else that's been going on. Nasdaq was about the same. All right, in terms of economic data coming out this week, and I just want to focus here on most of the U.S. stuff. So Monday, none of it. CB leading index at 10 a.m. Tuesday, the current account at 8:30, and that's it. Core retail sales out of Canada. I mean, there's nothing major here. Going into Wednesday, the final GDP number, also not major. Consumer confidence at 10 a.m. Existing home sales at 10 a.m. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. Thursday, core PCE price index, durable goods, personal income and spending, the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers, new home sales at 10, revised University of Michigan sentiment at 10, natty gas at 10:30, and then of course we're closed Friday for the Christmas holiday. So it's a very limited week around the world and certainly here in the U.S. I'm just telling you, here's how this is going to work. Monday and Tuesday and maybe Wednesday, we will look for something to do, especially early. I don't know that we're going to find anything in the daily charts. I will look for a plus report to be posted for Monday with the extra daily chart calls, but I think that might be the last plus report for the year. Definitely, and this has been the history of TradeSight forever, next week after Christmas, even though we're open 5 days this year, we're going to call it off on the tape, and most of it's going to be very picky, and don't overtrade, don't go crazy on your size because of the volume issue as we wrap up the year. It's just a normal thing. All right, that's it. I hope you had a great year. We've obviously done very well here at TradeSight. I'm very excited about our results for the year, and we will post all the net results for the year after after January 1st or after December 31st. Charts as usual. Brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great Christmas, a great holiday season, a great New Year's, whether we have more market previews or not. I would imagine we'll still have 1 or 2 between here and the end of the year, but it's going to be limited. We're past options, triple expiration. We're heading into the end of the year. Thank you.